yo, man, I get basically X amount of dollars just for free. So I'm like, I don't gotta do nothing. It's like, what? How you just, you know, like I gotta just sit here, like, yo, I'm just raking it in. Like, what? It seems too good to be true.
That's definitely what it is, bro.
Speaking of money, man, there was a popular radio host, DJ Envy. He hosts the Breakfast Club. And him and his friend, ex-business partner, Cesar Pina, they have a real estate scandal. So I'll read this little clipping out here. It says, starting in 2017, Cesar began accepting investments from victims for the alleged purchase, remodel, and sale of specific real estate projects in New Jersey and other states. To induce his victims, Pina also promised 20 to 45% return on investments within 5 months. But instead of using the victim's money as promised, he engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme by taking some money and using it to pay off other people and things like that. And so the investigation has revealed that he has defrauded dozens of investors for millions of dollars, and he has been arrested. I think he's out on bail now. And where DJ Envy ties into this is because DJ Envy was kind of promoting him on the Breakfast Club, the radio show, and they would do tours and things like that. And pretty much he gave him the super co-stamp, you know what I mean? So he gave him the cosign, and that's kind of how DJ Envy has got brought into this thing here. And so, Leland, man, I know you know some things about it and everything like that. Do you have an overall take on it, the situation with DJ Envy and Cesar? What do you think, man?
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It's not uncommon, honestly. And
really?
I don't no, it's not uncommon because I mean, people just they dishonest, you know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
And that's just not uncommon in general. Like it doesn't matter if it's real estate, it could be, I mean, just a Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, like whatever you want to call it. Like people are kind of dishonest about how things are going and like what their intentions are. And so yeah, man, it's unfortunate, bro. I don't know, like for me, right, being in this kind of industry, right, like being in it, I have investors that invest in some of my deals, and you talk about getting them a return and stuff like that. Like, you know, the realities of it are true, man. It is an investment. So you know, you can't really promise anything, right? So I don't know what, I guess my question is,
what do you tell your investors then? If you say, hey, man, so you got the property, you need X, go ahead and give us some numbers, make them clean numbers. And what are you saying to them at the end of this year?
So let's say, for example, right, you know, one of my deals we did, it was a house we needed $100,000.
Okay.
It was like 60,000 on the purchase, and it probably cost about roughly 40,000 to renovate it. Let's just use 100,000, right? Say, all right, cool. We're gonna use 100,000. We're gonna need it for like 6 months, and at the end of the 6 months, I'll either pay you a flat interest rate of like 10%, 15%. So I'll pay you like 10 to 15.
So 100, you got to give them that 100, like basically 115,000, about 110 back. Okay.
Yeah. I get 100. I borrow 100. I basically give them 110 back, or 115. Or you can do like a payment schedule. You're paying them interest only payments every month, and they get like $100,000 every month. And then whenever you actually pay off the loan, you know, you pay them back, and whatever they had over those few months, they get to keep. That's their interest.
Okay.
So, you know, it's not.
But still, you ain't saying 20 to 45%. I didn't hear that in this thing. Like, I'm not about to hit you back with the.
No. I mean, like, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be false. He could have been trying to just sell people on the idea. It could have been partly true in some regards. It's not impossible.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So with the investment, I'm assuming you're trying to make some money too. Then, so whatever percentage you give on that, you're trying to also make something for yourself. So if you pay back 115, how much are you in that case we're hoping to sell the house for?
Right. I mean? So let's say, for instance, right, that house that we bought for 60, we put 40 in it. Let's say it sells for 150.
Okay.
So it sells for 150. Your investor gets, you know, 15,000, 15% interest. It's really more than 15% because usually the percentages are based off annually. So he might have said it like that. Like if you're paying someone,
that is more than 50% annually. Yes, if you give 115 for 6 months,
that'd be like 30%. You see what I'm saying? I'm at a rate of 30% on their money. So that's what I'm saying. Like the semantics of it, I don't know enough about it to speak about exactly, but it's possible that you could do something like that. Like, oh yeah, I'm giving you about 20%. That would basically be if I gave you 10% of your money in 6 months, that's at a rate of 20%.
20% on the year.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
got
So
you.
so yeah, that I mean those things work. The like I said, you make a 50K, you pay your investors 15, now you walk away with
At
35.
35. Yeah,
Cool. And you didn't have to use none of your money.
sure.
That's really standard, right? I
So
didn't put none of my money.
here's what I want to get into too. This is what I want to get
Yeah.
into too, because to me, with real estate, in that same situation, is there a situation that can come where basically you've lost all the money? Say things go terribly wrong, like oh my, everything is terribly wrong. You bought the house for 60. How much you think you could sell it for after you put some money? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Because also, isn't there insurance? I'm guessing even with a house that's being constructed, isn't there some insurance you would have on it?
Insurance for what though? Like
Well, more so fire, flood, things like
yeah,
that. Like
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
You can't. Yeah, like
so that's what I'm asking. What's the minimum? Like, yeah, I took 100,000. Is it possibility to be like to me, it seems like for real estate to be like, bro, it's all going seems impossible. Like I have zero of your 100,000 now.
well, I think what you fail to realize is like they're saying he had a Ponzi scheme. So
Yes,
basically, he was saying it was going to the use of a real estate
yep,
project, but it was not.
of course, of course.
So it yeah, like there's probably value in the property itself, but he might have sold the property already.
Sure.
He might have
Mhm.
he might be over leveraged in the property to where
Yeah,
like who does he pay if he got investment from 5 different investors for 100,000, let's say for instance, right? He
oh,
goes to that house and say, hey, look, I need $100,000 for this house. And they
mhm.
say, all right, cool. I'll give you 15% return. And then he goes to another investor and say, hey, look, I'm buying this house. I need $100,000 for this house. And I'll give you a 15% return. They say, all right, cool. He does that 5 more times, right? Now he didn't raise $500,000 for the same one house. And the way, however he's doing it, he's just
Yeah.
not doing it in a way that's really tied to this property.
I
So
know. So
he
that's what
can,
I'm saying. Is there a way to do it? Like if he actually bought the house, that's what I'm saying. In your situation, say you actually bought a house for 60,000. What's the absolute like everything went terrible? How much of that 100,000 can you still give back to the person? Like, bro, listen, everything went terrible. Ain't it still gonna be like at least 30, 40,000? Here's
no, no, no,
40,000
no,
more.
no. Yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. That you're assuming that he's not over leveraged. I guess what I'm saying is like, so let me step back and say all this, right? And this
Okay.
is might just get too crazy, right? But
Yeah.
the reason these people are getting scammed is because they are handing him the cash. There
Sure.
are investment vehicles and things in
Mhm.
place to where you can actually tie it to the property legally. So he cannot do anything on the property until you get paid,
So you're saying
right?
like your name is on official paperwork and like
Yeah, like the count.
property. Okay.
Anytime he tries to sell, refinance, do anything with the property, if you have a deed or a lien against the property for that note, then you have to have a payoff. You have to sign off on that them selling that property. So
Gotcha.
people are getting scammed because DJ Envy's behind them. He has such a big name that he's probably convincing them to give him like a promissory note, what they call unsecured line or unsecured debt. So they're
Okay.
just handing them a check and saying like, "Oh, we got a piece of paper saying you're going to pay me this back." That's cool, but if you want to go a step further and be a little bit more safe and secure some of
Interesting.
that, you would actually have that written or recorded against the property. So no one could actually do anything with the property unless you got a piece of it. And
Got you.
that's where this kind of gets unfortunate because that's probably what they're doing. They're
Got
just
you.
telling because it is easier, and I've had it both ways. I've had people give me promissory notes. I've had people go against the property. It all really comes down to the trustworthiness of the investor and like what they're trying to do. So if
Got
you
you.
if you trust them, which in this case clearly they did, probably because of the cosign of all these famous people, it kind of gets unfortunate like that.
That's interesting. So basically, what I'm hearing too, and then listen, guys, we teach you guys just like Jay-Z here. You can be learning from this conversation. So what I'm hearing though from this though is
100%.
that if someone did it legitly though, there's not going to be, bro, your 100,000 is completely gone. If I actually bought this house and everything went terrible, like everything's terrible.
Right.
Like what can I still expect back from that 100,000? Like it's the worst case you can imagine. Outside
Uh
of the insurance company going belly under, I guess if the insurance
no, no,
company.
no, no. The worst. I mean, all right. So, ideally, the worst case scenario is like, hey, like even if you did it legitly,
Yeah.
if this really comes down to the value of the house,
Okay.
The value of the house is subject to the market
Okay.
and to the guys doing the work, right?
Okay.
So if he took all that money that you gave him to do the repairs and he didn't do the repairs, and the house is still worth 60,000 like you bought it, you've
Okay.
given him 100,000, right? So at most, if they sell the property at 60, then that's what you could be given.
Gotcha.
But that's I said that's if you do it legitly. If you do
Because
it,
if you the person does it legit, because that's what I'm getting to. If a
right,
person did it legit, that's what I'm thinking. To me, when I hear yo, I invested in real estate and it's all going, it's like hold on, it can't be all going. I need to even if I'm getting back 40,000 of my 100,000, okay, like I'm tight still, but at least it's different than bro. I got zero for you, dog. It's going. Things went bad. It's like how bad can things actually go if you bought this property? If anything, just give me the property back now. You know what I'm saying? Give me the
right.
property. I'll try to do something with it. You know?
Yeah. I mean that's absolutely possible. That's why when people
Mhm.
say foreclosed, like you get foreclosed, you can do that as an investor. If you write somebody a lien and they refuse to pay you to
Okay.
terms, you can foreclose on that property and not own it. That's why it's so secure.
They say
That would
you
be a
would
secure
now
debt.
own it or not own it.
You would now own that
Okay.
property if you took
Okay.
them to court. Like you foreclosed, you took it to the county, say, "Hey man, this guy ain't paid me.
Mhm.
I have a lien against this property. Uh, I'd like to move forward the foreclosure process." You can actually go through that process and then own the property yourself.
Would that happen with the promissory note, or would you need the other thing?
Nah, the promissory note would just be like a judgment against him personally.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you basically he'll have a judgment against him, his company or whoever you wrote the
Mhm.
promissory note to, but it's not like
Yeah.
tied to any particular investment or property. It's not
Gotcha.
connected. It's just connected to the individual. Whereas if you get it recorded as a lien, it's connected to the property.
Couldn't you still try to take them to court and get the money the same way then with that note then, or not, or not necessarily?
But yeah, you can take them to court, yeah.
Okay,
But
but it
that's what I'm
might be
saying. Like it's like anything else. Like
sure.
how he gonna get the money? Like he's been doing this to so many people.
Yeah.
He got so much debt. Like how do you imagine that he gonna get the money
Like
unless
everybody can get the money back, man. It's similar to like the Bernie Madoff. I know I watched that documentary they had, or maybe live reenactment about it. And I think at one point he was like, "Yo, man, I ain't made a trade in like 15 years or something crazy." He said, "Like what?" So he's just moving the money around. Somebody give me
right,
the money. You want somebody moving around, but then at a certain point, if people ask for it all, at one point it's like, "Oh, I can't give everybody their money because I only
right,
got 30% of the people's money actually, and
right.
I'm just
He need
pushing it around.
more. He needs more.
I need more people."
He need more people to pay in so he can pay out the other people. But then
Yeah,
it's never ending.
never
That's
in it, and
why
that's what
I
makes
don't. Yeah,
yeah.
I never understood like the Ponzi scheme. Like I'm like, how do you exit this joint, bro?
You can't exit. You just gotta like
Keep it
either go
going. Like that's
ghost, and that's what they said. What people were saying, like people they would just hit him up, he not responding and stuff like that, and like yo, you just go ghost some people because like bro, I can't pay you literally, son. Like I can't pay all you guys. You know what I mean? And so that's
like
what's tough.
yeah,
That just
nah,
becomes
that's crazy.
unsustainable because you can't keep getting more and more people. There's a certain point where that's it. And I know we had I'm not gonna put the whole family business out there, but we had some some people that if it just sounded too good to be true, my boy. It just
Oh
sounded too good to
yeah,
be true. Like
you
yo,
talking about the crypto stuff?
the crypto stuff, not like not with Caesar. They didn't invest with Caesar, no. But more so they were like, yo, man, I get basically X amount of dollars just for free. So I'm like, I don't gotta do nothing. It's like, what? How you just like I gotta just sit here like, yo, I'm just raking it in. Like, what? It seems too
Nah,
good to be true.
that's definitely what it is, bro. It's definitely
Yeah.
Ponzi
And a
schemes out there.
40%, bro. 40% in 4 to 5 months sound too good to be true too. Like, bro, like, yo, that's kind of sweet. I give you 50,000, you come back with the 20. Hey, come on now. Or say
Nah,
my pocket's deep. I give you the 500,000, you come back with the 300,000 on that joint. Like, hey,
nah.
let's go.
This the crazy part about it, bro.
Yeah.
It's actually legitimate. Like it's
Mhm.
not it's not false. You know what I'm saying? Like
To make those
that's
type
not
of
it. That's not.
returns in actual real estate, you're saying to make those
Yeah,
type.
you can absolutely make those returns in real estate, if not more.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not
Gotcha.
impossible. It's not super easy and likely, but it's not like impossible that somebody's like, oh, and especially if he says 20 to 40%, especially if he's talking about
Every
annualized.
year and
You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm
that's
saying? Like then it's like, all right, shoot, like I can see that. I mean,
true.
you know, if you like I said, if you break it down for me, I've probably paid people close to 30%, 20, 25% return on
Mhm.
their investment in 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
it's just really depends, man. It's just unfortunate that all these people had had to get taken for their money, man. That's not cool. That's
Let me
not
ask you
cool.
the final question on this too, man. Do you think that DJ Envy should be held responsible for basically with the cosign, man? He wasn't on the name or nothing like that. He just kind of had the cosign and the stamp. You know what I mean?
Man, just because I know how real estate works and how easy it is for somebody to get like caught up doing some shady stuff.
Mhm.
I say no, man. I say no. I'm not saying he's completely. I mean, I feel like he owes people an apology. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I just don't think he's.
That's it. Yo, my bad. Yo, I do owe you something actually. What? An apology.
My
There is
bad,
something
dog.
actually I do have
let me
for you.
shake your
Actually,
hand. You know what I'm
anything
saying?
message you dealing, I do got something for you, actually, bro. I got something for you, man. Meet me tomorrow at this time. I got something for you, man. Oh wow, really? You come here? Yo, so go ahead, man. What you got for me? Bro, an apology. I'm sorry, dog. This happened to you. I'm
Hey, that's
sorry.
hold on. In the chat, in the chat,
Uh-huh.
in the chat. Ashley said DJ Envy gotta lose his job.
Now, listen, there's a possibility because he also was on the radio station bringing this guy up with the cosign, bro. If you come up here bringing him up X amount of times per year, yo, this me and my man's here. We got this little seminar coming. And because here's the other thing, they were doing something similar to like the Earn Your Leisure guys in the sense of they were doing like this overall big picture. Here's how to make real estate. Then
Right.
afterwards, people was like, yo, man, come on, man. I got 500,000. What you could do with it? Like, I heard you, all that stuff you said. Listen. Here's my money, you know what I'm saying? So that's what was happening. And he was promoting it on the airways. He had been a guest on the Breakfast Club multiple times.
I mean, bro, like that I think that's just kind of crazy because it's like, all right, what about people that scam people off YouTube? They're buying YouTube ads, like YouTube ran them, you know what I'm saying? They promoted them, like where does it stop? I guess what I'm saying is like if it's shown that he had no actual tie to how the money was moving.
Yeah.
I mean, even think about people like do like laundering and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
like at some point, people in the company don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't like really hold that against them.
Mm-hmm.
What say you, babe?
I think what it is like iHeartMedia, where the Breakfast Club is syndicated, is like they are becoming named in the lawsuit. I think the other day they said that the feds raided the building, I guess, for recordings of when Cesar Pina was on the radio station. They might be found liable, because of what Avery was talking about. He's promoting a Ponzi scam via the airways. The Breakfast Club is, a national show. So you have to know that that's pressure from up top.
It's true. And I think it's
like, when these things happen,
it's money.
They have to make a move. Like, you gotta go, you gotta get up out of here.
For PR purposes.
They gotta, here's my role.
And
I say that to say this, right? Should they have to? I don't know. I mean, these big radio stations, like, can they ease the burden to some of these people? Like, it'd probably be a good PR for them anyway if they had the money.
I'm about to say, I'm not going to admit to nothing, be paying out these people from now. I can't do all that now for the radio station. I can't pay these people back, but I can fire Envy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
can. To get him out of here, it was his fault. Like, that's a
little more than an apology too for the person. Like, good, at least he out of here as opposed to the apology.
I mean, all right, look. I understand it's business. They do it all the time. Same thing like Ja Morant and stuff like that. Like, you lose endorsements because it's gonna cost us more money to hold on to and make it seem like we support you in this, right? So I get it from that point, but like, do I personally feel like that's justice and that's right? I don't, because I don't know that DJ Envy, like, where he could have been scammed just like you, like. Imagine your boy, like, oh, I know this dude. I think he's solid, and he doing something shady. Like, it's just a surprise to me. Now it's your fault.
Now here's the thing. Here's the only thing with that, because I'm thinking about you mentioned if there's ads running, like they might run ads for something. I feel like it's different though when it's your man's versus like Tide Inc. or something. Some random company like, oh, I'm reading an ad off for Tide versus this my man's. Also, too, I haven't seen this, and maybe Ashley, you might know. I haven't seen Envy talk about, hey, I lost X amount of dollars. If he
has said that.
Oh, he did say he lost some money?
He's actually come out and say that.
Well, he might need to say that just to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I lost money too, y'all. Listen.
Look at my account.
He actually did say that. I think last week he addressed the allegations on live on the Breakfast Club for the first
Mm.
time. And he said that he actually lost 500,000, I believe. They were investing into a old school that they were converting into apartments,
Okay.
and he never saw that money.
Listen,
You
man.
know.
Here's the thing with that,
Should have
right?
had
Because
that dinner
DJ
with
Envy,
Jay-Z, huh?
let me say this here. Let me say this here though. Check this out. He lost 500,000 to school, right? Here's the thing with the Ponzi scheme. People can get paid. People making money too, but it's not everybody can get paid. You see what I'm saying? That's the
Right.
thing. Everybody get. So my thing is this: I lost 500,000 one investment. How much money you made before that rocking with this man for years? Don't try to come with this last joint. You know what I'm saying? Y'all lost 500,000, but actually I'm actually net 3.7 million actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of facts. That's kind of fact. Chances are, if he would have lost 500,000, it wasn't at this point. What I'm saying is like,
yeah.
all I'm saying is that DJ Envy could obviously and honestly be a victim.
Not know
here.
what's going on. It's possible.
He could have been like, yo, like, all right. Every investment I had, like, all you can do is verify what you know.
It's
Hey,
true.
I invested with the guy.
And he the money afterwards.
He get me back the money afterwards. Maybe he Ponzi right and make sure I get right.
And it's kind of my boy too. So maybe when I call or text him, he also answering. I'm sorry he ain't calling and texting. Y'all call him, he ain't answering. That's tough. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, and you also don't know exactly. I don't think Cesar was all in his business dealings with all these individual people that were investing, right? So even at the seminars, Leland and myself have been to real estate seminars, and at the end of them, there's always another ask for more money to be closer to the real estate journey, where they actually hold your hand and go through the process. I think that those were the moments where Cesar was converting some of these investors to say like, hey, just give me the money. It's more of a hands-off approach. He was probably promoting that just to get more money, robbing Peter to pay Paul. So you don't know exactly what he was doing or how.
Yeah, you don't know where in the process it went wrong.
Yeah. And there's the thing too. I feel like he probably did. Like most people, you have a tier system, like even like a Patreon, you have different tiers. So yeah, if you want to come and hey man, you're part of my monthly newsletter, or we have a weekly Zoom call. It's $1,000 a month for this. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think, like you said, actually, where it ended up getting jammed up was people was like, all right, man, I hear all your stuff, but I ain't really trying to do all that junk. Here, man, here's 200,000. Yo, can you just get it back to me? 20%. That sounds good. Instead of me doing it myself, like Leland saying, like, I'm just going to give you this money, and then you hit me with this payment and stuff like that. And at the end of this time, that's probably what was happening, man. So I can see both sides, man. I don't know if he's gonna lose it, but there was even a posting. I'm just remembering now. There was a posting on the Breakfast Club for a morning co-host. Actually, they had a post like on LinkedIn or whatever. Actually, man. So we'll see. That thing came out like last week or so. There was a posting available. So
that's crazy.
We'll see, man.
We also got a couple of clips, man. A funny like.
The
irony clip. You know what I'm saying? Like what they was talking about.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we got the first one where Envy was basically describing when he started telling people, his friends. I think he said he told Fat Joe, he called up Joe Buddy, he called up Fabulous and was like, hey, I got this investment opportunity. And here's pretty much what they said about it.
What year was this,
I'm not sure to hear, but it's also it was him reflecting on it.
Yeah.
Right? Family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was gonna go to jail. I first got into it.
Why
they crib it right there though? Is that
right? On Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was gonna go to jail.
It's just so far. So in fact, hey, listen, man, not only a Ponzi scheme, you can go to jail if you go doing this joint, son.
Stop playing.
Yeah, you just stop playing. Heck nah. So I want to hear what happened. So this, I think it's go ahead.
All right. Let me say this before the joint is like that's pretty telling, right? Because do you think especially if that's recent, he reflected on it, do you think that him actually knowing it's a Ponzi scheme that he's in, you think he make a comment like that?
You saying he don't think it's a Ponzi scheme?
Like what I'm saying is, if he knew that what he was actually involved in was a Ponzi scheme, do you think he's going to say those words?
No, good point. But counterpoint, there would hear what I would say if I'm the prosecution or lawyer. There were signs. There were signs that not everything, you know, you told this to somebody, they say, yo, you gonna go to jail, stop doing it. That's a sign. And you
That's a
ignore
sign.
it. And you ignore you turned your back. You didn't look further into it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, here's Joe Budden's recount of the story here. I think.
Calling me, calls me as someone that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me, telling me that your man's the government and he can get the buildings and there's a list. It'll be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying. Because I was walking my dog in the backyard. So I want to stop listening at this point. But that just sounded fishy. You give me some money, we're going to take it, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. And my brother.
To real estate, I called 3 people. I called Clue.
Yeah.
I called Fabulous.
Now listen.
I called Joe Budden. Right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you know, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
No comment from DJ Envy. An inside source tells us that the iHeartRadio offices were visited by the feds who took out electronic equipment as part of this investigation.
Look, man, it's crazy, bro. Because here's the thing. Now, that's a fact. Now, I done had people, and I remember it too, because I am a fan of Joe Budden podcast. So I remember, and he said he called him out of the blue and they weren't on speaking terms. That's 100%. If you got somebody in your life you ain't spoke to in a long time, and like, yo, I got an opportunity, that should be the red flags number one. Because it's different if we talking all the time, or I talk to you a few times a year.
Right.
If we ain't spoken in years and you come through with because it's like this. Why would you call me as opposed to if it's a legit opportunity? Call people you actually know and stuff. You know what I'm saying? To put
maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe not though. But so still he called some people he knew that had some money. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, bro, like that's what I'm saying. Like even in this joint, right? I get it. It's funny. It's ironic for sure.
Now, hold on, I'm turning a little bit, bro. I'm thinking, bro. The fact that hold on, I'm saying I'm putting this piece together. The fact that you call somebody who you really not speaking with, and he said these are one of 3 people I call. Who knows his relationship with these other people? And I don't really talk to this person like that no more. Like, and also Joe Budden had mentioned they had a falling out before then. So it's like that seems like, yo, if I'm going to screw someone over, let it be someone I don't really know like that. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care if I screw this person over too much, bro. Because if not, if I run into a legit opportunity like what happened within our family, they're gonna start close first. Don't call some person you ain't spoke to since high school. Like, hey man, there's this great opportunity for you. You know,
listen, bro. Listen. I gotta push back on that. You know what I'm saying? My man Mike is in the chat. This is my guy. He's also a fellow real estate investor. He's talking about DOT, which is deed of trust, and try to be first position. It's kind of what I was telling you about before. Like you trying to be a lien against the property. So but yeah, I gotta push back on the idea of like, yo, like, you know, you're not gonna be talking and asking people like, but you are like as an investor, like the people who have invested in me, I didn't know before investing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the idea of people investing in real estate and making money in returns, it is absolutely legitimate. Like there are like in any capacity, bro. There's people who, you know, run corporations who are shady, you know what I'm saying, laundering money, stealing from the money. Like there's no way to avoid a bad apple if they bad, you know what I'm saying? Because the actual act or the vehicle of real estate and investing is not that crazy. And like even the idea of him calling like people he know who have money who might be interested, there could have just been a conversation they had in the past about like, hey, reinvesting. I seen a joint today. Matter of fact, who was it? It was Andre Iguodala. He was on First Take.
Okay,
just retired, and he's talking about like, hey, he started a venture capital firm, and he's been trying to get some of the dudes that's in the NBA to jump on with him. Like it's the same concept. Like if you know, like you might not talk to these people, or maybe play a game or two with them. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, hey, listen, bro, like I got an opportunity for you. You can invest with my company. We do this. I'm gonna show you my returns. Blah 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 blah. That's not uncommon, bro.
Now here's why. It's true to talk about. Here's why it is uncommon. DJ Envy. So we put both clips together. He said he called 3 people. Not I called everyone I knew, and I'm trying to get everybody on this joint. If I want to,
he said he called him his Desert Storm fan.
I don't know who that. Yo,
I ain't saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
why he talking about it on the pod? Why is DJ Envy recapping it on a podcast? if he didn't feel like it was legitimate. Like, why would he bring that type of energy to him if he knew? If he knew he was actually doing that, like, man, Joe Budden said it was this Ponzi scheme, but it really is. Like, why would he do that?
Listen, but also too, you know, Joe Budden's kind of eclectic out there and stuff like that. So saying that it might be like it's like the hide in plain sight. That's my counterpoint. It's the hide in plain sight. It's like some people say, if I'm lying to you, like I'm just gonna lie straight up, and then you know, you might, oh, he's joking. Like, actually, no, son, this is
no, I was for real. I
like
might murk you.
Seminar, he'd be like, oh man, imagine him at a seminar. Hey man, some people call this a Ponzi scheme, but you know, what do they know? Ha ha ha. And it's like he come out afterwards. Listen, he tell y'all that some people do say it's a Ponzi scheme. You know what I'm saying? This is a Ponzi. I said that up there. Y'all don't remember?
I said it verbatim. I have the recording.
Y'all thought I was joking. That's the problem, son. No, it actually is. You know what I mean? So that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Listen, I hope that the people can somehow recoup their money, though.
Me too, man.
We'll see what happens with Cesar to try. If he actually was doing this stuff, man, throw him out, because to me, man, you never know whose people are just giving you their last or like making a sacrifice for this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think there's two things to be said. Like, for sure, I definitely hope that people get their money back. It's also that why it's so important to vet the people that you working with, or like to like. I mean, I guess it's really hard. They co-sign, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like DJ Envy, like, I don't really know DJ Envy, you know what I'm saying? And if you go to his conference, like, you don't really know DJ Envy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people
who invest in trust, man. And that's what happened in that movie Parasite too. So if you remember Parasite, I watched it recently again, saying if you watch Parasite, that's what was happening, because it's like this, Leland. As you my family and cousin, if you told me something and you trusted it 100%, since I trust you 100%, I'm a rock with it, my boy. You know what I'm saying? And I might even tell a friend now, because like, nah, so my cousin told me. My cousin told me,
come my guy, like, yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that chain of trust, and you had that little cosign, it's gonna mean a lot, son.
It's gonna mean a lot, bro. But that's what I'm saying. There's no way to. The best way to do it is, like you said, get a deed of trust, get a lien on the property. Like basically, what I'm saying is, like, you got to know for yourself. Okay. You know, the more you know for yourself, the more educated you are, the less likely you are to get scammed. That's period. I don't care what's
the deed of trust, man? Because even when I saw him in the chat, DOT, I was thinking, oh, Department of Transportation and try
a deed of trust is simply the documentation that states that you have a lien and they owe you X amount of money, or you have an agreement about X amount of money lent on that property.
And if they don't give it to you back, you get the property, you're saying, or something like that.
Correct.
Oh, that's dope, man. Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
That's how you do it, guys.
That's how you do it. It's just the process of that is a little bit more intensive, and most people don't know, and they just quick to to get to the money, and like, oh, you know, cosign. All right, cool. You've been doing this. All right, cool. I just do it. But you know, that's why you got to kind of know. You know, even you underwrite the deal. The more you know about real estate, there's a lot of people who invest. There's a ton of people who live off just investing money in real estate deals, and they do it this way. They know enough about real estate to understand what looks right, what doesn't, and then they make sure that they get everything buttoned up and tightened up with the attorney to make sure that they can get the property back if they don't need to. And that's ultimately, as unfortunate as it sounds, it's accountability. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Accountability. So
for sure,
hopefully they get this stuff back, man. It's mad unfortunate, man, but we'll see as the story unfolds.